Hello, good night. This is Jamaican Insider News, and I'm your host, Vashon Vidal. So, guys, I asked God to tell me what did the people of the world, the first people, the kind of the first people of the world, after Adam and Eve came, like you know, we hear this story a lot: Ham, Japheth, and Shem. All right, so Shem, the last baby, and Ham. So Shem is the um the father of the Hebrew people. So Shem was a big nosed man, and I'm going to show you what the Hebrew people look like right now. Alright, so the Hebrew people are sort of complex. Alright, you have Hebrew before they started to intermarry with Egyptians. I'm going to explain that story right after I show you what almost all Hebrew people, the original the the original Hebrews look like. I hate those people when they bore the mufflers. Oh my god. Ah, sorry, God bless the Lord. I'm sorry to say your name in vain. So, alright, so guys, this is what Hebrew people look like. Alright, so as I said, so after the Hebrews were intermarrying with Egyptians and other Hamitic people, you know, Hamitic peoples, yeah, they started to look and begot children that sort of look similar to that sort of race. So here is what a Hamite person looks like, yeah, and and here's what a Japhetic person looks like, you know.
We don't like the outside world. We don't want to have any contact and be too close to your world. We want to stay the way we are. Your world is bad for us. We don't like it. There are too many people. There's too much noise and no peace. Your world smells bad. We're at home here.
Starting to make them feel like exhibits in a zoo.
Now that I've shown you what all the three brothers sort of looked like or look very close to, I can start to describe their 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 attributes. You know, all right. Let me start with Hebrew. All right, so Hebrew person is a ruddy skin color person or a very light skinned person. So Hebrews are people with they have a sort of fine eyes, and I showed you Gorilla, not Gorilla but Glorilla, the artist Glorilla. So they looked like her. They had a big nose, which God calls a characteristic nose in the Bible, and they had full lips. But when you see people with really big lips, you know that's a mutation that is among them. You know, sometimes like they get really thick lips, you know. So now that and they are the land of the big butts, you know. The men have big butts and the women have big butts. So that's how God told me that He made them. And now, and one thing about Hebrew is that they are the main the main ingredient in white people. So white people have a lot of Hebrew in them. So what is the main ingredient that gives white people their pop is the albino Hebrew person. So an albino Hebrew person mixed with a Canaanite person, mixed with a Egyptian, and a Japhetic person makes a white person. So that's a key thing about so populations being mixed around with to infinity until a certain point of time, you know, they started to come out with attributes of almost all of the people that is on a specific island. So if a Japhetic person sailed to the boat, you know, sailed to the island, and then a Hebrew person sailed to the island, and then a Egyptian person sailed to the island, or other Hamitic people sailed to the island, then they're gonna come up people that are gonna come from the places that they're gonna come up with each attribute of the persons that are on the island.